What is the meaning of this? I have waited for this for some time.
We're gonna make glorious carnage throughout the land!
Let our rule of this planet begin.
So as you saw from the video, this is King Carnage. He's based off this artwork right here, which is really cool. This is from the 90s nostalgia. It was a trading card, looked badass, and I wanted to recreate that character because I'm pretty certain there's been absolutely no comic book or animated series adaptation of this particular character. This is King Carnage, and he just looks badass. I feel like I recreated the card. The card has been visually updated through Photoshop to make it look better, because my original reference art that I was going off was very pixelated, very old, and there's very little imagery on the internet. So I feel like I recreated it to the best of my abilities with what little I had to go off, and I tried to make the character come to life more so than what the picture image was representing, due to the fact, again, we haven't really seen this character moving or any kind of comic reference, nothing. And obviously it's had a lot of input of my own style. I have recreated the head somewhat, and the body is simply just Kingpin. Now if I could just gripe one thing, we never really saw the trousers, and I would have liked to have put pinstripes down there, but that's just a minor gripe. I didn't end up doing it. He is very glossy because he's had a few finishes on him to allow this blue, this beautiful blue, to stick to the figure. So let's go through it, all the details. Because it is such a simplistic design, I wanted to have all the paint applications really well done, so I'll try to get close to the camera. The pink is it's starting to saturate a lot of the colors out, so I'll bring it as close as physically possible. You can see that the orange in the waistcoat has had lots of shading, and it's a brown to an orange, and it's been airbrushed, and it's also had a metallic through it. I don't know whether you can see the metallics. It's also had washes and golds put into the buttons. I'm trying to get as close to the camera as possible so that you can see all the details. This is a chrome, which has added a metallic effect to that, and then the blue has obviously had many layers, building it all up and adding all those details. The waistcoat has minor blue shading. I love when companies like Hasbro early days and Toy Biz used to put the blue in, but I noticed that's not to everybody's taste. I personally absolutely love the subtlety of the blue. I sculpted the logo because on the original design it has this like symbiotic somewhat whatever that's called in the pocket. I'll have the name here. And the head was completely sculpted from scratch, and it was actually a Kingpin head. We got two of these Kingpins. It was the one with the black eyebrows, so that is what's sitting in there. And all these are bendy. They can bend and they can articulate. I prefer not to because I worry that the sculpt might break. So if you can see, because it is very glossy, the detailing in the eyes, in the mouth, and just trying to bring this thing to life. There's a lot of shading. I don't know whether that's coming up. It's an orange to a red to a dark brown with washes, and you can see in the eyes, I think it's going to do, there's blacks and reds, and I don't know whether I like the eyes. I'm kind of on the fence. I might redo them because they're not exactly 100% accurate. The hands, they were Caliban, and then I've added, I think these are Scream hands, and again I've added lots of detail to them with oranges and yellows to kind of build them up and make them look all symbiotic and gross. Simplistic. He is very just kind of like a Kit Bash, I suppose, because it's just the hands and the head, and you can interchange this, but the only problem with interchanging it, so these are the hands, they do pop off. The only problem with interchanging it is I have had to Dremel these hands down, right? So they have had work so that they don't rub. You can see they don't rub when you articulate them. And then the problem is with the head, so I'm just going to be careful with this, is it is painted. So because the head is painted, it does articulate and there's no paint rub. But because it's red, when you go to interchange it, let's just pop it on for the sake of it. It's very tight. You would have to have his head tilting down and have these like this. So you can change him back to standard kingpin with a nice paint job. I could add a couple of washes and redo this head. But yeah, you can see it is still kingpin. So King Carnage, kingpin, just depends. I would have loved to have had some sort of backstory towards this guy. It would have been absolutely sick, but we didn't, unfortunately. Maybe they may revamp him in the future, maybe he may come back, doubtful, but we can only wish. Hasbro, seriously, if you're watching, check it out. Simple kit bash, you could resell this, people would probably buy it just for the hands and the head accessory. All good. There's the blank base body and the hands go in. The hands have had, arms have had Dremel work, so you can see it's had a lot of work to Dremel those out, or else it causes a lot of friction and paint rub within these arms, and they just pop in, and you can have a lot of fun with this. As you saw from the intro, you can do a lot of things with this character and just really enjoy it, you know? I like to have him with his cane. Totally forgot to add that I actually customized this and it wasn't even in the video. Oh, what a shame, what a waste. Oh well. But yeah, it's had airbrush work and a bit of detailing and washes, and yeah, so it can go with his, and make it look all symbiote, and you can add all the effects to kind of make it, you know, look like he's. If you want to see him next to some size comparisons, here is a Stone Collectibles Ninja, because I'm a big fan of Stone Collectibles, the pink aesthetic with the background. We've got a standard Bucky Cat mold, which is Daredevil. I always call them by their molds because I'm so used to using the molds over the plastic. We need updated Daredevil for sure. Here is a Wolverine repainted. Really love this Wolverine. I've got the head modified as well. Looks awesome. Here he is next to a Spider-Man 2099 mold, Sunfire mold, whatever you want to call it. Quicksilver. Okay. And let's do a couple of more. Here he is next to a Todd McFarlane Spawn. Great figure. Definitely want to do a Spawn custom in the future for sure. Here he is next to one of the best Predators I've ever seen. A NECA Predator in the Yellow Lantern costume. Looks absolutely amazing. And here he is next to, let's get to it, this is Carnage. So this is the absolute Carnage. I can't find the original Carnage head. Not sure what I did with it. I got tons of the Bucky Cat mold one. I ultimately got let down by this figure. It's very gummy. Very, very gummy.
Get the buck out of here, gummy ass.
But on that note, I would like to catch you on the next one.